I'm in Salad and I saw Daredevil Season 1 Episode 4 in the Blood. It is directed by Ken Garodi, written by Joe Kopaski. If you haven't seen this episode, I'll spoil it for you. This episode follows Daredevil on his quest to find out who Kingpin is. Also, this episode follows Kingpin and who he is. It's obvious that Kingpin has a ton of power. However, he keeps going to this museum. The one that he went to last episode, Rabbit in a Snowstorm, that was the name of a painting. He bought that painting seemingly because he liked the lady who runs the museum. Also, it's really cold, so 32 degrees outside. How does Daredevil do it? How does he run around even when it's cold outside? Maybe because he's just running around so much. I'm just standing here reviewing this episode. He only wears the tight shirt, the tight pants, and it's interesting how he just never gets cold because he's constantly moving. Even in the rain, he's not wearing anything but this, and it's so cold. Fisk, Wilson Fisk. Wilson introduces himself as Wilson to the art women. They go on a nice, lovely date. Pretty nice dinner, until some goons come in and embarrass him. Those idiots are like, oh yeah, we're gonna go up to him and be like, hey, we're gonna interrupt your dinner. Hey, we got the thing done, dubba-dee. Like, dude, there's a time and place for everything. You're breaking a lot of social conventions right now, and you deserved what you got. Walks the lady home. She's like, I don't know what I feel. And he's like, dang it. Oh my goodness. I'm alone. I'm still alone. Ah. And so he takes his frustration out on the guy and freaking like bashes his head until that guy's dead. I'm like, whoa, man, that's intense. That was the last scene of this episode. This episode didn't really focus on Foggy too much. It focused on Karen as well as it did Murdock. Murdock keeps getting hurt. The nurse keeps helping him. He's like, I gotta be around to help you. And she's like, no, you don't. I could take care of myself. And then she gets kidnapped. So Daredevil has to go and grab her and unkidnap her. It's a really cool action scene in the sequence. While he's getting them, he just operates from the shadows, which I find really cool. And then you slowly, one by one, go. He's very good at one-on-one combat. He ends up saving Claire, and that's neat and nice, and that's nice and neat. I like her attitude. She's like, I'm already kind of in it. Might as well help you. I gotta get rid of these dudes. This is just too much power they have, and they're using it for evil. I agree with this. Oh, and then there's Karen. She's looking into the guys who done did the firing of the job and trying to go after her and kill her because she looked into the papers. You remember that? Yeah, she goes to this auction house, and there's this guy there. He's like, hey, you should not be so obvious about this. How about we have some talk over dinner? And also, you should probably buy something. And so she ends up buying a fax machine, which I really like because earlier in the episode, Foggy was complaining, hey, I wish we were working for somebody who had money, had for donuts, a fax machine. And then by the end of the episode, he ends up getting a fax machine. Those are the most significant parts of this episode for me. Let me know if I missed something. I'm sure I did. It is cold out here. Hot diggity dang. How does Daredevil do it? I noticed the color palette seems to be green, yellow, and red. Red is the main color, and then you got the split complementary colors, which I find to be really cool. That seems to be the entirety of the basis of the colors of the show, using green and yellow primarily in the scene to establish, hey, you're in the outside city area. But you also get a coziness from it, especially in Claire's apartment. Very green, very yellow, orange-ish lighting. Nice and comforting. It's supposed to be a comforting area. That's pretty much the color palette of the show as I've observed. Daredevil is very consistent about its colors and its value usage. The brighter the colors is, the more optimistic. Then the darker the colors, the less optimistic, and the more mystery that there is, and more uncertainty and more unknown that he has to deal with. But he lives in the shadows. Humans are afraid of the unknown, but for Daredevil, darkness is very known to him, so he uses this as an advantage against his enemies, who would be scared of the dark and the menace in the dark, the devil in the dark, the devil of Hell's Kitchen. Also, the word of Daredevil is spreading, and I like that. I'm excited to see what type of impact he has. I want to see more of Fisk. I want to see more character development of him. I like fleshing out all the characters in the show. So whenever I have to choose sides, I feel conflict emotionally, and I like that. I'm excited for that. This is a sign of a good show. Nice, well thought out show. Very clear from the start. So I have to give this episode, this is a really compelling one. I enjoyed this one a lot, so it's a 7.7 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another on the platform really likes that. The ultimate goal of this channel is to do 5,000 reviews. So if you'd like to help with that, by the way, anything I've reviewed on the channel is pretty much the only things I've seen, so if you haven't seen it on the channel, go request it at patreon.com/ASEPresents. One movie review per 1 month is $20 Redinos, and you can also help support the daily grindiness by going to autisticmoves.com. So go here, and until next time, I'm in Salad Saw. I'll see you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.